Hey guys, it's been a long time. So I'm going to talk about the number one languages to learn, but I'm not going to go through like some bullshit list or whatever. I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of what I think is going on right now. So we're going to look at one chart in this video, and this is Indeed.com. And luckily for Indeed, or luckily for me, I have Indeed charts to be able to track this. Now, Indeed's not perfect. There's other sites that are springing up all over the place. A lot of different jobs websites out there that are giving different data, but Indeed.com has a lot of listings. I know I've complained about them as far as like having duplicate listings and things like that. But this chart seems pretty legit in my opinion when it comes to actually finding a programming job. So a lot of people are going to be like, oh, it's not the flavor of the week thing. Where's Vue.js? Where's React? Where's blah blah blah. But this is a pretty good representation of what's going on right now. If you're trying to be a developer and you're trying to actually get a job and get paid to be a developer, Java is still king. Just look up job listings. I mean, Java is all over the place. A lot of enterprise applications are written in Java. If it's not in Java, the other one is .NET and C#. They're both about equally. They're equally stable. I mean, they're not going anywhere. And you wonder why. Like, why is it that Java and C# are so popular when they're not so? Well, why are they so popular with enterprise where they're not so popular with small, indie developers or startups and things like that? And it comes down to really one thing, and that is like that is corporate support or customer support. So if you have a company that is making hundreds of millions of dollars, you don't care about saving maybe a few million on an open source stack and then taking a humongous risk on Joe Schmo over in Australia or something like that doesn't update his code repo, and all of a sudden or he's the guy that you need to talk to in order to figure out your Django problem or something like that. The fact is if you have a Java shop, then you have support from one of the largest IT companies in the world, which is Oracle. You could get people on the phone from Oracle, and granted you're going to pay money for it, but they could fly out to your location. They're going to be able to take a look at your servers. If you have money that you're losing by the minute because your servers or your product is down, you have that support. You look at something like Node.js. Why hasn't Node.js taken off in the corporate world? It's growing, yes, but there's still not the same level of support that you get with something like Java with Oracle or C# and Microsoft. So a lot of big time servers are still using SQL Server, and they're using .NET and things like that. So if you want to get a job in this industry, it's Java and it's C# and it's still that way. I don't think that has changed at all. Now the third, and this is the best for like newer developers. So if you were to ask me, how do I get a job as a newer developer? That is clear. It's JavaScript. I'm sorry. JavaScript is obviously, ES6. If you can get into the Webpack and Babel and ES6 and you learn about all these flavor of the week tools like Vue.js, React, or Angular or something like that, you're going to stand a pretty good shot at being able to get yourself in as a junior dev, especially without the experience, because these flavor of the week things haven't been around that long. So some of the reasons why this JavaScript community is such a mess is because these tools are only around for 6 months or a year or so before they're getting replaced or rewritten, through a 2.0 implementation or just being completely shut down in favor of something else. So that levels the playing field from senior level developers and entry level developers. It still doesn't mean that you're going to be as good at like enterprise development with a bunch of developers around you and GitHub or Git or TFS for merging and things like that, and task management, agile methodologies, things like that. But the answer is clear. If you're trying to get in the corporate world, Java or C# still. If you're trying to get into like a junior dev position as a web developer, then there's definitely no question about JavaScript. If you're trying to get into maybe, I guess it depends on where you are. Like, I love Python, but there's a lot of the job opportunities for Python, which is a little bit misleading, is for the data scientist types. Former PhDs or physicists that are actually using Python for all their complex calculations and things like that. That's not really the kind of job that's catered towards beginner Python developers. There are some Django shops out there, and there's probably some Python Flask type startups, even startups like Reddit when it was coming out and things like that. But it's also going to be difficult to kind of get into those like hipster trendy things too if you still have no experience. So really it's JavaScript, HTML, CSS. If you're a newer web developer, those are the best things to focus on. Python, if you truly want to learn one of the easier languages, and then try to maybe get into an opportunity with like a Django or Flask, if there's opportunities around your geographic area for something like that, I think that would be much closer to the JavaScript opportunity than something like C# or Java, because C# or Java, they are some big beasts to learn, and it takes literally years, sometimes decades, to master your craft, to do what it is that corporations are going to pay you a lot of money and expect you to be able to do. So that's my advice, all in one video, all like under 6 minutes. And now I need to talk about my sponsors. Guys, check out Dev Mountain Coding Bootcamp. They have 12 and 16-week courses. Their courses work. They can get your foot into the door as a junior dev, especially if you're, like I said, the JavaScript equation there. So they're going to be doing Node.js. They have Angular. They have React courses. And then they're going to teach you how to use GitHub and version control systems and things, which is something that you're definitely going to have to deal with when you get into the industry. And then the best of all, unlike Coursera or something like that, you're working with real instructors, real programmers, and they're around you and they're teaching you day in and day out. Also, if you're trying to build your portfolio, get out there and use Site123. They also sponsored this video. So if you're trying to build like a portfolio, if you don't want to deal with all that search engine optimization, server hassle, all that garbage, then definitely Site123 would save you a lot of time and money over doing something like setting up your own host and server and buying your dealing with DNS forwarding and all that stuff. So yeah, make sure you guys check out those two sponsors. I appreciate you guys listening to this message. Sponsors help me pay the bills and also keep this channel going. So you guys take care and have a good day. Bye.